be the one who is there for you. I will save you from what's round the corner. Oh, I'll be the one who is there for you. And I'm called to save you from your trauma.
Welcome to the Indie Tea Talk podcast. I'm Adam and this is Kitty, your host for a journey into indie music across the north of England. Tune in as we explore unique melodies, chat with talented artists and create a space where you can discover your favourite music like never before.
Fantastic.
Also, if you're new to Indie Tea Talk, please show your support by hitting that subscribe button. It makes a massive difference to us and also the amazing artists that we help support. Today on Indie Tea Talk, we're joined by a band that has made a name for themselves through sheer dedication, busking their way to a UK top 40 album and earning a loyal fan base along the way. From the streets to the stage, these guys have carved out an incredible independent music journey, with a self-funded debut album, live sessions on BBC Radio 2, and support slots for huge acts like Razorlight. Now, with their highly anticipated second album dropping in May, we're catching up with them to talk about their evolution, their experiences, and what's next. So, please join me in welcoming Glass Caves to the studio. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
What
Brilliant.
an intro.
Brilliant,
Love that
mate.
blushing here, mate.
Fantastic.
Very professionally done that.
Yeah, thank you, editing.
Outstanding work.
Are you alright? You've had a bit of a long journey in today.
Well, Matt has. Where have you
Yeah.
come from, Matt?
I've travelled from the west of the country all the way to the east. I had to do my never eat shredded wheat in my head then just to make sure I came from the right direction. But come from Liverpool. We'll be going back to Liverpool after this. It's a round trip. I could have taken a trip to Brighton today with the amount of miles I'm covering.
One way.
One way.
Yeah, come on, let's
Stop
not
throwing
forget.
that in. It sounds less impressive. Could have gone to Brighton,
But what a
gone
place.
to the beach,
Well,
seen the sights.
we do have a beach, so
You do. We were impressed actually how close it is to the beach. Can you see the beach out of a window?
We're
From
not
the-
really high enough.
Yeah, it's just kind of over the field.
Over the hedge.
Yeah.
All right.
Over the hedge. Yes, over the hedge. That's
Yeah,
a
nice.
great reference to an animated film
I like
that I
that.
love.
It's a great film.
I can't
actually.
smell, but can you smell the sea, Elliot?
No, I can smell the incense, though. That's fantastic.
We can get that anywhere.
Yeah, it's great. It's a podcast.
You can
this,
indeed.
It really is painting the picture, though. I like it, mate.
Yeah, go
it's
on.
good.
What else can we smell? Give people a fourth dimension
Your
of this.
tea
Yeah,
there.
what do they say on podcasts where they say like there's a word for it when they reference the podcast listeners where they explain like what they can see and smell?
Podcasters.
We can see a
I'll
fantastic
Google it
room,
afterwards.
corrugated wall, nice brickwork. It's a beautiful space. We spent the first half hour here just waxing lyrical about what you've done with it.
It's
so,
a beautiful
Thank you.
space.
Yeah.
I'm talking
I
about
would live
tiles,
here. I'd live
unfortunately.
here, mate.
Yeah,
I would.
can't beat some good tiling either.
Try and stop me. I'm moving in.
Let's not get me started on that.
Right, I'm gonna have to rein you in. Guys, I'm gonna have to rein you in.
You're going to struggle.
Let's head back to the early days. How did you guys come together and form Glass Caves?
It's funny this because I sort of put that together in Elliot's best man speech about 3 months ago. He's married, by the way.
So no pressure. This should be a really well delivered, rehearsed piece
Yeah.
of content.
To
now,
be honest,
so-
even the best man speech wasn't the best.
It was.
Over
It
my
was-
tongue
it
every
was
5 minutes.
Fantastic.
But the basic outline is right. I went to college the first day. I saw this guy with just mad air blowing in the wind, and I thought, "Who is that? That guy can't have come from where I've come from because he'd have had his head kicked in basically." So I thought he's an intriguing man already. But then I thought I want to be that fella's mate. But I thought that's not going to happen. He's a bit too cool. He's got loads of mates. I'm there all by myself. And then luck would have it, we ended up in biology together. And he was sat in
The
front
lesson.
of me. And I pretty much single-handedly ruined his biology career.
Matt was very disruptive.
I was quite a disruptive chap.
Right.
Nothing bad, but just like you can tell
Yeah.
now, he's just goes off on tangents. and he's not like
I'm not good at staying still or quiet, so yeah.
That's perfect for
A
this.
teacher's
Yeah.
worst nightmare.
So a teacher's, no one gets sent out of college. You know what I mean? That's a school thing. But I found myself in the corridor quite a lot. And anyway, so we got sort of chatting, and then he saw some of my YouTube videos. What were I doing? Daniel Merriweather, Red.
Yeah.
Painted it red.
You voice
you
of
were
an
like-
angel.
Tune.
He came to me and he was like, "Wow, you can sing, man." And then we had a little chat in the corridor, and I thought, this guy's in love with me, but he wasn't. And,
It sounds like it was love at first sight for
it
you.
was a little bit.
I think the biology section is just
Yes. And then so we carried on, and he said to me, "Oh, do you want to come to mine and we'll jam a bit?" And I didn't really know what to expect. I've never really jammed with anyone. I've only done little acoustic things in my bedroom, Daniel Merriweather and all that. And
There's so many innuendos here. It's
You're trying really hard.
I mean, they're not even purposeful. It just happens. And then I got into his little Fiesta, and it was so old. We like squeaked out of the college car park. Oh, before that, he had like a weird alarm in the passenger footwell that I had to switch off.
all right.
That blew my mind, but it stuck with me to this day. And then we screeched out of the college car park down the road, Park Road, I think it's called. If you live in Pontefract, you'll know it well. And then we went to his house, but it wasn't his house. It was his granddad's house. So we sat in his granddad's living room,
Yeah.
got the amps on, not just acoustic, absolutely smashing out Kings of Leon. And Elliot's granddad was sat in corner just nodding away.
And Dust Glass Caves was born, yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how it began. So, yeah, Grandad Eric, what a man. What a man.
You painted an amazing picture. It must have been all the practice you had with describing the room before.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, mate.
No, that's
take
amazing. That's a really I don't know. I would just all I can think about is this bloody alarm in the car.
It was my dad's quite like...
It were a manual alarm. It were before, like,
Yeah, 'cause it wasn't-
automated alarms came in.
Yeah, because the Fiesta's like a 1989. He was like older than me, the car. And so he obviously didn't have any kind of electronics. So been put in there, and it was like he had to go and switch it off. I don't know how my dad must have fitted it. Weird though. And he was like, anyone I gave a lift, I had to be like, oh, can you just make sure you turn the? I had to go in like the glove box and find this switch and like make sure. Yeah,
They were amazing.
Anyway, I digress.
Bloody hell. So you completely self-funded your first album through Busking, which I think is a bit of an incredible story. How first of all, how did that come about? And then secondly, how did that kind of shape the album?
Yeah,
It's funny. So I want to just say, I will let you speak at some point. But I
promise.
We were talking about this on the way in, and when we started doing the album, I were like, had I just got married, or I were about to get married, and we were like, we're gonna put all the money we make straight back into the band, and I was like, I will literally not survive if we do this. So like, all right, Matt can have £100 a week, and we'll busk for free. So Elliot and Connor, the old guitarists, were like slaving away in the streets, and I were taking like not a lot of money, but some money, and these guys were doing it for free. And that's what we did for a living as well. It's not like we had part-time jobs or anything.
Yeah, we were full time doing it. It was, but it's mad, innit? 'Cause the amount of people that we met, obviously it funded the album and stuff, which was great. But then you get it at the same time, whether people want to hear you or not, they're all having to hear the music, and they're buying the demo CDs. And we sold like that. We were up the night before and printing all these initially to start with the demo CDs ourselves, selling like thousands of them over the course of a year. It was mental.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were no label at that point. We had management, but like we were like, we're going to do an album. We need to make it happen. We did it ourselves, and insane. The fact that it, like top 40, whatever.
We must have raised about 10 grand on the streets of York. Yeah.
Wow. That's proper impressive stuff. That.
And it helps the gigs because people then come to the gigs because they've seen us. We started then busking in Manchester, Liverpool, and it were like we had it all just fed into each other. We've started doing it a little bit again now. We've got the second album coming out. We're thinking, how can we promote it? And we're like, well, it worked so well the first time. We're not like snobbish about like we've still gone back and done it again. I love it. I love busking. Matt hates it.
Love busking.
My
goodness.
I was gonna say, is that a rewarding thing? Because as a musician, like I obviously get the money side of busking and the money side of like covers gigs and things like that, but I really am not a fan of busking. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, at the end of the day when you've got your pennies and you're like, oh, this is great, but I find it quite hard to engage with anyone, and you feel like you're imposing your music on people, and I find it quite hard. So it's interesting that you guys are obviously massively built off that, but Matt still isn't.
We did it. It was like a necessity initially in terms of to pay for it. So it was like it was a job. We just saw it as a job.
That's what I mean. I see busking as more of a job, whereas like a gig is like the creative fun part.
When we first went out, so Elliot didn't go busking the first few times we went. It was just me and Connor, the old guitarist, and we were like, right, we're going to go busking, and I were a uni student in York, and then we were like, we should practice before we go out and make sure it's, you know, tight and people really enjoy it. And we just spent 5 hours practicing in a bedroom and then went out for about an hour. And I thought it was terrifying because exactly what you're saying. Nobody wants you there. It's not like someone's booked you to play on the street.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You just go, right, where are you now? We're going to make loads of noise and you're just trying to have a nice Saturday, but forget about that. You're listening to what we've got to say. But I think you just get used to that. Like, if you do it a few times, I think it's a bit unnerving.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had old people screaming at us saying, like, shut up! And, like, we've had loads of guys saying, get a real job, what you playing at, shut up. But I think you just don't care at that point. You're like, we do this every weekend, and it's situational confidence.
Yeah.
And, But then, I really did. I think I hated it by the end. Elliot's the most optimistic man you might ever meet, but that's not me. I sort of bask in a little bit of pessimism. I like to call it realism, but it's really pessimism. And I'm like, you know, when you've played your own song for the 8th time that day, I'm just like...
Yeah, because obviously you do. That's
you know,
the thing as well, because you do your own stuff.
Yeah, you can see my attention span is quite minimal anyway. People know that from first meeting me. So you did that all day, and then I remember Connor were quite a stickler, and he'd be like, "Smile, we're not getting any money. You're miserable.
Give it some more. Give it more.
Yeah, you don't give it enough energy." I'm like, "Oh, it's the same song again, man." So I hated busking, especially when we did it 7 days a week to fund this album. I was like, break.
What was the moment that you, like the kind of pinpoint moment that you realised that you could actually fund your album?
I think it's just from the amount of CDs we were printing and selling and the money that we were taking.
Yeah.
We were like, well, this because we were like by the last year of uni, I was like living like a king, like because I hadn't had a job anywhere through uni. It's going back with
you got three chins.
However much, having takeaways like every night because we were going to York, rinsing it, and then just like thinking, oh my gosh, got all this money.
3 chins. That's how you know you're a wealthy man.
Yeah.
Gout.
Yeah.
But like, when the
Lost
men
the
started
toe.
moving, we were like, what? Obviously, be a bit more sort of strategic with this, and it worked. And it's like, I've said this before, and it sounds like a bit of a line, but the fact that we were meeting everyone who was buying his CD and meeting all the fans, it's
making
like
that
like
connection.
proper, like you can't. That's insane. I think
You can't replicate.
And
that,
also, it's really grueling the fact that we did the same song like 8 times, but then. How much better do you get at performing them, and like how much better do you get at singing them, and like invaluable. I think it's that is maybe being optimistic, but I just think invaluable. Like it's mental, and if people haven't done that, they say you got to do whatever 10,000 hours or something to be an expert.
Yeah,
I'd love to know how many hours we've done, but I reckon it's close.
You keep me going, mate. Your optimism, it astounds me.
So you've also moving away from the busking aspect, you've also supported quite a lot of big artists on their UK tours and stuff, such as Razorlight.
Yeah, that one a UK tour.
Where was that one, sorry?
So, for some reason, I mean, this is busking again. So, somebody come up from Cornwall on a weekend in York, and they saw us, and they were just like, you guys are amazing. And then they messaged us like, we run a festival in Cornwall. Do you want to come and play Cornwall? And we were like, I've never been to Cornwall, let's do it. So we travelled down, we played it 3 times, 2 times, 3 times. And the 3rd time they're like, Razorlight's headlining, we want to show them your stuff and see if they want you to support on the headline slot. So we just were like...
Which one just before, weren't we?
Go for
mental, it. Just as like dusk was setting and like played it like, it were mad, wasn't it?
It was amazing, yeah.
Have you got any like wild backstage stories from playing places like that?
They didn't speak to us, in all honesty.
They did. We spoke to the drummer. Andy Burrows, the original drummer, came back like so much. I think so good with him.
Yeah.
He did like the music for what's the Ricky Gervais Afterlife? Was it that?
Oh yeah.
He did like the soundtrack and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're having a chat to him about that, and
all right. Well,
he did.
I like
I didn't have a clue, me.
I don't think maybe Matt wasn't.
When did you cut me
Elliot
out?
knows their life story.
And yeah, they were just he was sound, and they knew who we were, and they had checked out and stuff. He was, well, unless he was just saying that to me, but like, yeah, he watched the set and said it was good, and not heard from him since. But yeah, it was a sound. I've had the weirdest one I've had. I think I've told this before, but it was we were doing Why Not, and we were on the main stage there. Frank Turner was headlining that night, and to be fair, he was dressed in he had like cargo. It was in the morning. He had like cargo shorts, like a Mac on. I obviously didn't recognise him. I'm walking on with the drum kit, and I just saw this guy, and I was like, "Where do I stick this, mate?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, rude. And then it was Frank Turner. I thought he was like a stagehand, and it was Frank Turner. And I was asking him where to put my stuff like that. So what a faux pas. Played a great
brilliant.
Set. He did play a good set there, didn't he? So yeah, good on him.
Trying to think, the wildest story for me, I think, that we've ever had is we used to play with a band called Judas. They did like a UK tour, and it's Abby Clancy's brother. And we ended up playing in Zanzibar. It's on Seal Street in Liverpool. And they came to gig. Abby and Peter came to gig, and you could just see like the crowd, and then Peter's head just miles above everyone else. And that were a bit surreal. But then afterwards, obviously they're in Liverpool. Everyone knows who they are. And afterwards, like, crowds were gathering round them, and like everyone's like, "Can we have a photo?" And they just had to get off in a taxi, and that was pretty surreal.
Yeah, that's mad.
Pretty showbiz.
Especially to be like at your gig.
Yeah, no, there was a photo in the Daily Mail after that.
Was there?
Like from them in, not I don't think it mentioned, but from outside. And like,
no one cares about us.
Bloody my gig.
Bloody hell. The reason why they were here.
They are sound people, those guys.
Yeah, they're
very really nice. Anyway.
Right, it's time to move to what I think is the highlight of the podcast.
Yes.
It's the tea question.
The tea question.
It's all about the tea. That's why we're here. We're here to drink tea and talk about indie music. So far we've talked about indie music, and we've drunk a little bit of tea, but let's talk about tea as well. So if your music was a flavour of tea, what would it be?
Oh, that's the question. We just both went to each other. Tea? Yeah, we like tea. We're from Yorkshire tea.
Brought some.
It came from the pocket.
Yeah.
I'm like, as if you can't get Yorkshire tea out in Hull.
Yeah.
But like...
But that's... I mean, I guess that is what we are.
I thought you said to bring
yeah,
some.
Mate, you don't
Yeah,
learn.
we did, but just
Valuable.
the shocker that it came from the pocket in a sandwich bag, I think was
I was like, I could try and be really cool. It's a bit Glass Caves, this, isn't it? Like, but honest answer, Yorkshire tea. Like, very proud of it, and it's the best tea.
I think you're right.
What were we missing
earlier
about
I
that?
thought that we might have run out of Yorkshire tea. Obviously, Adam
Got 4 bags here.
has a whole box hidden somewhere that I now realise.
There's countless boxes
but
hidden in this
was
gaff.
funny because I was like, "Oh, Matt, I don't know if we've got any Yorkshire tea." And he was like, "Oh, we've got some with us." I was like, "I love that."
We always carry around 4 bags just in case.
It's the best. So it's the honest. It's the maybe a boring answer, but it's the honest
the
answer.
boring
that's
answer.
good. We rate that.
No, it's good.
I feel like if I was to put Elliot into a tea, this matcha, citrusy, zesty thing
we've
here,
tried
it's
some.
such a happy little cup of tea.
Yeah.
So I'd say Elliot's a matcha, citrus, zesty, but I'm, to be honest,
Yorkshire Gold, mate.
yeah, something like that. The Lancashire folk are going to be kicking off at us saying Yorkshire tea is the
They've
best.
got their hot pots, mate. We've got the tea.
All right.
So you're going to play us a track.
Yes.
What will be your first track that you're going to perform for us?
Making Waves, I think, is the latest.
I want to do in style. Obviously, we were going to argue about this. This is style. Everything comes with opposition.
This is
It's
great.
never easy.
Go
We're
on,
going to do
Tom.
in style.
Talk me through your thought process there, mate.
It's the first track on the album.
Nice.
So we do that first. I find it a bit easy to sing.
Nice.
So we're going to do it first.
Would you like to
Nice.
tell us a little bit about the song?
Oh, yeah. So in style, we found I didn't know this when I wrote it, by the way. Get off my back, lawyers. But it's the chords to...
Oh, no, it just sounds a bit like the chord progression in Robbie Williams' Let Me
Sounds-
Entertain You. When you play it on the piano,
on the piano.
Right.
We were playing it the other day. Elliot was trying to do the piano.
trying. I was doing the
Trying
piano.
his little best.
Trying to do the
He
piano.
tries his best, you know how it is. And then and we
With
were
his
like,
little
oh, that sounds
piano.
like Entertain You, but it sort of is, but it's not. It's E, G, and A. Any song, pretty much every song ever.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
not in... Let Me Entertain You is not in E, G, and A. We're all
Anyway,
right.
that's not what you asked.
Yeah,
You asked
no.
what we're about.
Got really minute detail.
So for me, it's like imagining heaven. So it's like the verse is a bit like, life is a bit hard at times, and it has its ups and downs. You know that being a firefighter when you're pulling people out of cars when they've smashed it up. That bit dark. That sorry, really.
Wow, that's a good dark
But then
turn.
you have those dark moments, and then I'm like, yeah, but what heaven's heaven potentially is going to be like this amazing place where the chorus is like, have you ever seen the sunrise stretch 1,000,000 miles? Like, you're in this just like absolutely glorious. I mean, the sunny places where I'm at my favourite, headspace. So that's what it's about, really. The chorus is a bit of a struggle. No, the chorus isn't a struggle. The verse is a struggle. The chorus is like, yeah.
So it's like the juxtaposition between
exactly.
There's a few
it.
themes on the album
about
that are
dying
about
in style, because it'll be an amazing time potentially. No one really knows, do they?
That's
but in
funny.
my head,
The first
that's
song,
quite optimistic of me.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
I was
when
going to
reflect
say
on
that's
it.
not the first song I queued
Must be
when
catching.
I arrived here this morning was do you know Palace, the band?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Heaven Up There song by them.
I don't
and
know.
that's
I
pretty
might know it.
similar, where
Is
he
it?
basically says, "Is it heaven up there? Because it's hell down here." A lot of times.
Wow.
So that's nice that you're in the same mind frame as I was this morning.
Yes.
Oh, a
But
little
we're not
bit
here
of
to
faith
talk
gets
about
you a long way.
Palace, so let's move back to some Glass Caves and let's check out that live session.
Yes, mate.
Nice.
Have you ever seen the sunrise? Stretched a million miles. And if I was to die tonight, well then I'd do it instead. Look up, there's hope for you. You know I've been there too. A deep eternal blue. I sense your desperation. There's someone at your door. He's banging on your door. No, I can't answer for you. I know you're desperate for the sunrise. Stretched 1,000,000 miles. And if I was to die tonight, well then I'd do it instead. The doorman, meet me at the door. The doorman, meet me at the door. I know you're desperate for the sunrise. Stretched 1,000,000 miles. And if I was to die tonight, well then I'd do it instead. Desperate for the sunrise. Stretched 1,000,000 miles. And if I was to die tonight, well then I'd do it instead. Desperate for the sun.
So your second album is set for release in May. What can fans expect from this, and how does it compare to Alive?
Yeah. Elliot, you're looking at me, but I feel like you're ready to go.
Oh no, I thought you just have an answer. Yeah, Alive. I think the first one is like very much. It was very much our first album. It was very like guitar heavy. We recorded it not quite live, but it was very much like guitar, bass, and drums, and that's what it is. This one, fantastic. We obviously we demo stuff together. A bit different because it's just me and Matt, like
In the shed?
in the shed, writing it. Best thing I think I liked about it was the fact that we've included, which we hadn't really done on any other releases, like we've just taken that demo session and we've recorded it with Andy Gannon, who produced it, did a great job, but using bits from the demo in, like kept it in,
right,
and like
okay.
built
That's
and
really
done it in a
nice.
box and,
Cool.
and like
I like that.
built it from what it was. So for me, it's kept a bit more of its sort of soul, and the original idea is like a bit more, accessible
There,
from
innit?
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that today as well, about
Yeah.
the realness of demos and how it's really hard to recreate, isn't it?
Yeah, even
really
from
is.
like the specific sounds, but like it's got like a vibe about it, hasn't it? I think even stuff like when there's a vocal in one of the songs that Matt, because he was recording it when the kids had gone to bed, and he's like doing it right into the laptop, like just the laptop, and it sounded so like lo-fi, but so close.
Yeah,
and we try to recreate it. We're like, it doesn't sound as good as the just singing into the laptop, so. We've used that. There's a bass line that is in it that we just kept the original recording of that. Again, maybe not technically the best sounding thing, but it just suited the track, and so he's got more of that in, a bit more personality, I'd say.
I like that.
Yeah, on a recording front, on a style of track and vibe, I guess. Yeah, I'm quite a faith-led man, so I mean I lean a lot into that sort of life, slightly more spiritual aspects of life. So it's got quite a bit of that in, which we've not really had that.
No, it's
before.
good, and again, I think it's good because it's like honest, isn't it? It's like lyrically, it's a bit more open.
Sure, I don't really know. What
I guess that's nice if you think it's a little bit more honest, because then it relates to the recording aspect of that. The recording's quite raw still in its own way.
Yeah, it comes across, and I think we've not. I don't think we've been guilty of like trying to. I don't know, it's getting a bit too into this, but trying to like give people what they want to hear sometimes in the past, maybe. I think with this, it's definitely us. Sort of thing.
You're writing for yourself as opposed to...
Yeah, especially when it's like, what we've written from the demos and it's stayed that way. Because as you say, you can lose it sometimes as you come from demo phase to studio phase, and all of a sudden it becomes a different beast, and you're like, that's not what I wanted it to be at all. Whereas I feel like all these, I just love every song. I mean, everyone's going to say that about their own album. I get it. That's just what it is, isn't it? You're making what you like. And I hope people enjoy it. I do. I think it's an incredible album, and I keep losing a bit of steam, and then I listen to it again, and I'm like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't say that about my own album.
No, because you go through those peaks and troughs of emotions through through creating tough. And we often have that debate or we often talk about like knowing when something's finished, because you're always striving for perfection, but ultimately at some point you've got to draw that line and say that's where it is, that's what it is, and that can often fall short of where you expected it to be, or it can be completely different to where you were, like you were saying a second ago. You can go off on a completely different tangent, but to have that thing where you can walk away from it and then come back and be like, actually that might be different, but that's real. That mine.
Was after the 953rd master we made them do.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You say that, you draw a line under it, and you go, But I mean, the mastering engineer hated my guts.
Did it?
I was like, by the way, if you could just do this one more time on like master 8, and no one really masters beyond 2. So I'm a perfectionist at the same time, and it's hard with that though, isn't it? Because sometimes just leave it to be what it is, you know what I mean? You can get a bit too obsessed, but I'm really happy with where it is. So.
I think, we're both like really excited for people to hear it, which is where you want to be at, especially when you're like now going around like promoting it and stuff. It's like, because we genuinely believe in it. It's like, it's great that. It's a great place to be.
So you think that your songwriting has evolved a lot then from you first from your debut to your new project?
I think it's different now, because we used to be with Connor, who used to play guitar, and Will. We've got Darren and Ben who play live with us, but right inside it's sort of
just me and you, really.
Which makes it go a lot quicker. I think maybe because there's less people.
Yeah, it's just,
and we've sort of rattling them out, and again, I think that maybe helps it be a bit more honest and direct, because it's just literally it's less filters through it, maybe. So that element to it, I think.
And if you guys are super comfortable together and you've been friends for a really long time, I think that always helps push the process along.
That's true. If it's rubbish, Elliot will just be like, that's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, like very...
the honesty, the comfortability.
It's definitely more comfortable to try. I would try more things just doing it with you, just me and him in a room, than I would if there were like 4 or 5 of us.
Because I felt like that when I first started working with... I'd always just sat in my living room on my own and made music. I'd never made music with other people. And I can remember the first time doing that is especially from a recording point of view, it's really scary, like doing a vocal take in front of someone else, because you're like, I could sit in my living room and do this take 50 times, and if I fuck it up or if my voice breaks or, I can just delete it and no one will ever hear it. Whereas when you're in a room with someone else, you have that vulnerability about you, don't you?
I definitely think that as a vocalist, that's
it's a really
you go into a
scary
room
one.
of people who you essentially feel like they're judging you from the off.
Yeah.
I think that's just a mindset you just have to get out of.
Yeah,
innit? But
although I think then when you do start recording, you realise that, you know, they've heard it all before. But yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I felt like that for a long time. I remember we recorded in a few places and I got such dry mouth. I'm like,
And it didn't help because people would be like, "Oh my god, like the music for this sounds absolutely incredible. Like no pressure, man, but this is just going to be fantastic." Like, all you need to do is just slam a vocal on it, it'll be fine. And you're like, there's a bit more to it than that. Most important
as well.
bit.
T-mouth is a thing with recording vocals.
yeah, I've just found that with a lot of tea.
Yeah.
My tongue feels swollen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't usually say swollen like that, but it felt good. Swollen.
So, can you share any sort of stories behind your new album, and maybe let us know one of the tracks that holds any special meaning to you?
I like, and it's one maybe for Matt to talk about more than me, but I like one of the tracks called "I Know You Know," and we sort of wrote it again in the shed. Matt had been ill.
Where is the shed?
It's
Yeah.
in Matt's garden.
Just in the back of
and
my
it's just
garden.
got a load.
Paint
There's
us a
nothing. There's
picture.
nothing. It's nothing
Home
like
to
this.
spiders.
It's
It's
just-
there's a little TikTok of it somewhere.
Yeah, that's the other side on that.
Yeah.
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 So
And,
in your shed,
it's a bit damp.
It's-
The rug in it is rank, and it's just a bench I've made in front of us, and we often write off the DeWalt worksite
Yeah,
radio.
that's what I was gonna
which
say, yeah.
sounds incredible, by
That's
the way.
the- that's the-
top notch DeWalt. Give me a free one if you don't mind. And but
Yeah, you'd
yeah.
had a fever
Yeah,
dream
so-
a couple of weeks
yeah,
before, and I was
actually-
like, let's pull at this thread.
Yeah. So
And
it's a
then-
weird one that. So yeah, obviously, as I said before, I'm a bit of a. Well, I'm not a bit. I'm into faith. I'm a Christian. And anyway, I were in bed, and I was stuck in bed, and I were like, just shivering, burning hot and cold, and I were like, there's something within Christianity. It's like God is omnipresent, He's everywhere, and that's not what humans are at all. So that just like blows my mind. I'm like, what? I don't understand that. I don't understand it. I can't grasp it. So I just prayed and I said, God, just show me what omnipresence is. I just don't really understand it. And then, obviously, I'm slightly in a fever dream state, but I just got this image. And I was like in space, but the biggest thing I've ever seen, it was just made up of like neon strands, and it just felt so joyful and colourful and vibrant. And it literally took my breath away. So I had like a physiological response, and I was like, what is that? But there was like a face within it. And I just felt like God is like this one massive thing, but loads of made out of, I don't even understand, but for some reason it gave me a bit of peace, and it took my breath away, and I was like, what have I just experienced there? And then I would drive into Elliott's like the weekend after, and almost in my mind's eye, I could see it again. I was like, what is this thing?
We've
And I'm
got
like,
to write,
Elliott, I've got to write a song about
We've got
this.
to write a song about that. You can't have that kind of epiphany and not be like, oh, let's maybe, yeah. So
that's what
we
that song's
wrote the
about.
song about that, and I think it sounds so like sonically and stuff as well. It's really like expansive, and I don't know, it just worked really well. We, again, did that really quite quickly, but it sounds, that's my favourite song, that. Really good.
Pretty wild story, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that blows my
Sounds like I've
mind.
been taking acid.
Yeah,
I
it does.
hadn't.
Yeah, I did. That was my first thought.
was
I won't lie.
Yeah.
It made
I-
me think about
what have you been on?
Have you
But
seen
Unless it were a
the-
dodgy lemsip.
Have
Was
you
it out of
seen the
date?
Have a Good Trip documentary on Netflix?
No, I've heard about it.
There's a clip of Sting talking about an acid trip,
Yeah.
and he basically at the time was at this farm, and the farmer came and got him and was like, this cow's giving birth, you have to come and help me, while he was tripping on acid.
Wow.
And he said the description sounded really similar of like, basically when this cow gave birth, he was like, the sky opened up and everything was just like so colourful.
Wow.
But
Yes.
so it's a
Go
similar
on,
thing.
Sting.
So
Yes.
you know, when Sting birthed a cow, not physically birthed a cow, helped a cow give birth.
Well, they say this a lot about drugs. I mean, I've not really done drugs in my life, but they say it a lot to like, it like opens
Don't
your
do
mind up
drugs,
to like a
kids.
bit of a spiritual.
Yeah.
Bit
I
of
think there's,
spiritual realm,
whatever
don't
you
they?
believe, I think there is another, whatever people
Don't.
believe, there's got to be another element to what's going on.
Depends who you ask, mate.
I think there is.
Absolutely,
There's something
yeah,
connecting us all more than what we can see. Is what, without getting too
Depends
deep
who
and
you
getting
ask,
too like wanky. That's what I think.
Too wanky.
How's that going to get on podcast?
Wanky's not swearing, is it?
Oh, I
Is it?
thought, yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Instagram will not let you run an ad on that. Anyway,
On wanky.
On wanky.
I reckon not.
No wanky ads.
Well done for not. well done for not.
It's in the fine print.
It was the perfect word at the perfect time.
I completely agree. Right, let's go back in time,
Yeah.
and I want you to give yourself some advice from when you first started out. What advice would you give yourself from now as to help you progress along the
Wow.
ever difficult path?
Yes.
I'll let you go first this time, mate.
I like how you take the nice questions.
What would I say? I mean, I've got a nephew, and he's a very good guitarist and a very good vocalist, and he's like 18. And I think my advice to him is enjoy it. You've got to enjoy it. I think as soon as you start I found a real shift when I started putting the weight of money and trying to make a living off of it, and just being like, we need this thing to succeed. I felt like it just killed what music is to me. It killed that sort of emotion of like what I love about music, the feeling of it. It just became, we need to make money. Otherwise, well, I'm going to just be living on the streets, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I think-
if music becomes a necessity rather than
Exactly,
a hobby.
yeah. So I just, for this album, I've just been like, just enjoy every phase of it. Like, I don't want to do too much where I burn out with it, but I just want to enjoy it. I love the album. I love playing music. I love being with Elliot because he's my best mate. So just, a little emotional moment there.
I'm gonna start.
But I think just enjoy it, because I just say, like, yeah, when it becomes business, like most things, it just loses its edge.
Yeah, 100%. Can't do any better advice than that. Enjoy it. I think as well,
Don't know if
because
I'm
we've been lucky enough to do like loads of things. If I said to him at the start, it's like enjoy it, but appreciate it as well. Like
Yeah.
being with your mates, and we've been lucky enough to like go and do some incredible things, and it's like not to take it for granted. I think initially, especially at the beginning, maybe a little bit naive, thinking like you're always chasing the next thing, and like, you know, we have a Radio 1 track of the week. I'm like, oh, that's it now. That'll be, you know, and then how many Facebook likes means, and how many Instagram likes, and you think, oh, what you actually, you know, he's always chasing the next thing, and it's like, well, it's happening. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, you're already
enjoy
in
it
it.
while you're doing it. Like, there's
Yeah.
so many doing things that people, you know, would love to do, and like you look back on and remember forever.
Yeah.
Just like, obviously, you need a little bit of that ambition, I think.
I'm going to be dead in 50 years.
But enjoy it, appreciate and enjoy it at the time.
That's what
Thanks,
you,
mate.
Adam, earlier with. Adam said something about. What did you say? He's like, oh, well, look down the line. Yeah, George, the cameraman, he said, look a bit further down the line. You'll be 30 and George will be dead. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah, nice.
Well, yeah, it's true, isn't it?
Happy Sunday, everyone.
True.
Enjoy it.
That is so far out of context, and I can't remember what the context
Yeah,
was
exactly.
now.
I can't remember.
But
the
that just
context.
sounds really bad. Thanks.
It's like, have you seen that film? It's About Time.
Oh, I
Oh,
love that
underrated.
film.
Very good
Can
film.
I just say
Go on.
thank you, because everyone pies me off and says
No,
that
it's
that's
so
a chick
good.
flick.
It's so
not.
good.
It's fucking brilliant.
So he basically, I'm not going to give the game away, but he can go back and he ends up living every day
I'm not
twice.
going to give the game away, but I am going to tell
And
you
it's
the
like,
whole
If you
So
just
you live-
hired it on DVD,
No,
stop
that's fine.
listening.
The message is like live every day
Fucking
as if you're going
Blockbuster's
back
still
and
open,
doing
isn't
it for the second time, like without all
Yeah.
that stress and worry. And you do that anyway. You're a little bit like, oh, it will be what will be. Trust to some higher power to sort it out. But this is a bit like that, and it's like just appreciate it and like enjoy the little moments and
Yeah, if
lovely.
you have the chance to live
Yeah.
every day twice, live it like you're doing the second time
yeah,
round.
I like
so
that.
good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so good.
Live as if you're going to die tomorrow.
Well,
Yeah,
sort
bit
of.
dark.
Not bit, no, because you do some crazy things,
No,
wouldn't you?
that's
If
it.
I was going to die tomorrow,
No, that's where we're at.
Anyway.
So with the album release just around the corner, what's next for you guys after that?
It's a good question. I don't think I've thought beyond that.
I think you do now. I think we've got a UK tour,
Oh,
mate.
yeah.
Anything you need
I'm
to
glad
plug,
you're here, mate.
plug
I've
it
not got a
now.
Yeah, so we're going all over the UK at the end of May, so a couple of weeks after the album comes out. We'll be doing some like in-stores. They're currently getting sorted, so
Yeah.
for when it comes out, and that'll be nice to sort of like, it's sort of a nicer version of the Busking, isn't it? Going and do some sessions in some record shops up and down
Yeah,
the
that's
country.
super nice.
And then hopefully some festivals in the summer. But yeah, just dead excited once it's out to be able to play them live and see how it
Live,
like
yeah.
goes down. And yeah, it's an exciting time, really. I try and enjoy every moment.
Nice.
What about you, Matty?
Probably going on tour, it sounds like.
I'm going to do as I'm told.
Yeah. But after that, I don't know. Summer's coming. I'm excited for summer, mate.
Yeah, me
Any
too.
nice holidays booked? Like,
No,
I'll have a honeymoon to go on at some point.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know where. So any ideas,
Showing
let me
up.
know.
I'm just purely in album mode. When
Yeah,
we
we
hit
are.
May, and then I'll be like, all right, what do we do now?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan.
nice.
Brilliant.
Sell albums.
Sell albums, lots, so buy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing people can do is
Sell
we're meant to be telling
albums.
everyone to
Yeah.
sales, but pre-order is like massive for us because it all counts to that first week of sales. So
Right.
Yeah,
like,
it is massive.
if anyone can go
pre-orders.
and pre, even if it's just the digital copy for a $5.
It's a hard thing though, isn't it? Like I'm big fans of a lot of bands, and then would I commit to buying a vinyl? I don't know. I'm usually like,
It's probably the wrong thing to
So, I
say,
mean,
but very
Yeah, I was
honest.
gonna say.
I
Do?
think, yeah, I think but it helps the bands out so much. Doesn't
Yeah.
it? So on that front, I should.
Yeah, if
should
anyone's
do
like,
more.
these two sound good, the music's good, what could I do? It'd be to pre-order the album before May. That would
Amen
be
to that.
massive. For
So
us.
we're going to get into your where we can contact you in a little bit, but where can we buy your album now? Where can we get the pre-order?
glasscaves.co.uk.
Yeah,
Yeah, Glass Caves. Just type that in. The website's on there. The links are everywhere. And yeah, you can get anything. You can buy a vinyl if you want. If you don't want to spend that much, you can get a CD. People still do get CDs, apparently, surprisingly so. Or just pre-order a digital copy of it, and it would, helps us massively. Gives us a chance to chart. And if that happens, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that'd be amazing.
What would you do if we charted?
boom.
Have a cup of tea.
Have a cup of tea.
A celebratory.
Very
cup of
on
tea.
brand.
Yorkshire Gold.
I thought you were going to say something wild, and you just went out of it.
Yeah, went the other way.
Yeah, might have a
Yeah.
biscuit.
There's going to be chocolate on that biscuit.
If it's number one, yeah.
Caramel, innit?
Unless we're number one, we don't deserve
No,
chocolate.
Yeah.
just
No-
plain
no choc-
hobnob for you, sunshine.
Right, we're going to go into your second live session. What are you going to play for us?
I don't want to predict it this time.
Yeah.
because Matt's going off script. Go on, mate.
Don't get me angry, son. I think we're going to play Making Waves next.
Brilliant. A little
Yeah.
bit. Do you want to give us a little bit of an insight to what Making Waves is about?
Yeah, that one is the oldest one, like the one we wrote the longest ago, didn't it? So we did it
Yeah.
while we still had like Connor and Will in the band. And it's about sort of taking on the world with somebody else, and it's sort of brought on a new meaning when the two of us left.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like,
We've got
you know.
each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, again, I never tell the band what the songs are about, but it's a bit more of a spiritual thing for me, you know.
Yeah.
Feel like I've got God on my side, and as I said, like, life goes up and down, and things just fall away when you least expect it. But mine were like, you know, God's always there for me. That were it for me. Never told you that. He only knows that
Oh,
now.
Elliot thought it was about him.
He's
I
kicking
thought,
off.
well, I was writing about you. I thought it was about you, but it works, doesn't it?
That's beautiful.
It's about you is what I meant, Ellie. It's all about you, son.
Right then, let's give it a listen.
I'll be the one who is there for you. I will save you from what's round the corner. Oh, I'll be the one who is there for you. And I'm a call to save you from your trauma. And if you don't believe me, I'll be standing right beside you even when you get yourself into trouble. If you don't believe me, I'll be holding your hand. I'm gonna be there for you. Making waves, us together, us forever. Do I crave when we're not together? Making waves, us together at one forever. Yeah, I'll be the one who is there for you. I promise I'll protect you, be your armor. Oh, I'll be the one who is there for you. And I'll be on call when life gets tough. And if you don't believe me, I'll be standing right beside you even when you get yourself into trouble. If you don't believe me, I'll be holding your hand. I'm gonna be there for you. Make a way, us together, us forever. Sure, I crave when we're not together. Make a way, us together, us forever. Sure, I crave when we're not. I'm just a call away, call away, call away, call. I'm just a call away, call away, call away, call. I'm just a call away, call away, call away, call. Call away, call away, call away, call. Making waves, us together, us forever. Sure, I crave when we're not together. Make a waves, us together, us forever. Sure, I crave. We're making waves, shock waves. Sure, I crave. I'm just a call away, a call away, call away, a call.
So we're heading towards the end of the podcast now. We've got a quick fire section to get through.
Final hurdle.
Final hurdle.
Hurdle.
Final bit of joy.
That's
Sorry,
it. Right then. So what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on stage?
I know this for Matt. He fell over onto his back with a guitar and he looked like a beached whale.
Oh, mate,
I couldn't, and I was looking at him. And he couldn't get up because he
I
had a
was
guitar.
so stuck. I was so stuck. It were in Brighton, that wasn't it?
Yeah,
How long did this?
Well,
It felt like an
it felt like a
eternity.
long
and I was like,
time. Everyone's like, "What's going on?" And obviously, I had to sing, and he's just like, "What?"
yeah. The track ran away with me.
So probably that.
That's,
Yeah, what's yours?
That.
Is that what
It was that embarrassing. Even I was
The
embarrassed.
second-hand embarrassment from that was.
Oh, wait, I chipped a tooth on stage.
That's not
We were playing
embarrassing,
Leeds Brewed Now. Fired the microphone into my mouth and half my front tooth fell out.
No way.
Yeah, it were already half fake anyway, so it didn't need a lot of persuasion.
Right.
But it wasn't fun. Could feel the breeze on my teeth. Oh, you know, it's like a raw nerve.
Yeah.
It's proper rock and roll, that, actually.
Yeah,
isn't it, Chris?
absolutely.
Yeah, well done.
And I
mate.
just battered on.
Yeah, you did.
If you could erase one song from history, what would it be?
Well, that one that goes in the but a time when the summer is
Oh,
up,
really?
ba-da-da-da-da," and
I
I'm just
love
like,
that
oh, my
song.
dad loves that song, and I just used to drive me mental. I don't know
That's,
why.
that's controversial, is
Yeah, I
that?
know people love it. I
In
something
the
great.
summertime.
It's like, you know, if you were to be tortured and put in a room, and if there was
Yeah.
the wrong song to be put on a loop that would
Yeah,
make
to
you go
be fair,
insane,
if that was on a loop.
that would be the one that would do
Do you know
me.
what would be mine? Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
goodness me. It
It's-
gets me that
It's
song.
been overdone.
Yeah.
It's
My
been overdone.
best friend's dad got married to a lady called Caroline, and
Where you
fucking
going
hell,
with
we
this?
heard it so many times at the wedding when they got married. The amount of people that were like, "Oh, can I request a song?" She's heard it already. It's her wedding day. Leave her alone. Yeah,
Fantastic.
I'm here for that one. Scrap it.
Yep.
I wish there was a song called Sweet Matt. Play it every day. I
The
would.
right one.
Mine.
What's the weirdest DM you've ever had from a fan?
There was one back in the day when we used to get them on when we busk regularly.
Yeah.
And there was one about me. I saw it the other day in a memory. And it was like, I will take him home. I will call him Squishy and he will be mine.
That is weird.
Oh, from some girl. It was very weird, yeah.
Oh
I
my
will
god.
call him Squishy.
Yeah, really weird.
Rogue.
Yeah, really weird.
See, I don't
So you
mind.
replied straight away, yeah?
No.
And now you're married.
Yeah, now we got married last month.
Yeah.
Last month.
It was a good move, actually.
Honeymoon on the cards.
Mine's not really in my DMs, but when I used to work in marketing, and I was signed into an artist's profile, and he were like, awkwardly, he would like flirting with girls, and then I'd get all like this sexy chat that I were in on, and like one of them were like, I was thinking of you in the shower, and I was like, stop, it were like notifications on my phone. And I was like, this is horrible, but I still need to market the lad, so I can't sign out. That were rough, that.
Great.
It was a rough ride.
Sounds it.
It was rough.
Right, so you've got one CD stuck in your CD player in your car. What's it going to be? Stuck there forever. Every time you get in your car, it turns on, starts
I'm
playing.
tempted to go for the easy answer of Motown Chartbuster Classics Volume 4, but
The obvious answer.
but I think for me, and it's maybe not the coolest answer. The favourite albums of ever is Kings of Leon because of the times. It's what I learned, like all the songs on drums, all of them on bass, guitar. It just got me like proper into
Can I
it.
ask, are you originally a drummer, and or
well,
are you just originally an everything man?
The first thing I learned about piano
Plays the
lessons.
didgeridoo, the lad.
I've got a didgeridoo. The first piano.
weird.
First thing I learned was like piano. I used to have like piano and
Okay.
organ lessons when I was like.
Because I was trying to
four.
work that out from when, because obviously whenever I've seen of you guys busking in York, you've always been playing drums.
I'm the drummer, yeah. I'm better on drums than anything else. I'm the drummer for the band, and that's
Play
my main
saxophone?
thing. But when we're writing, obviously,
Wow,
we'll do a little
saxophone.
we'll do a little bit of everything when we're writing. Do a bit
Play
of guitar.
guitar quite
but there's
well,
some bass on the album.
Can't
actually.
sing.
Buzzing with
Can't
that.
sing.
Terrible at singing.
You can't have everything,
So
man.
he's
Like,
not
I can-
an
He has
I can
everything
everything.
man.
just about get an idea across. And he's like, Matt, is that what you're trying to say? But it works.
Yeah.
If
What
you
was the question?
Oh, have you still got?
I want to answer. If
yeah,
that's all right.
so absolutely. You've got a CD stuck in your
Oh
car
right,
CD
so
player.
I had two. I'm not. You've asked for one, but I've got two. You'd think they were stuck in my car because I had Currents Tame Impala in my car
Oh yeah.
for
Yeah.
like 5 years, and I used to listen to it everywhere
That's
I went,
such a
and
good
I didn't get
car
bored of it.
album.
Yeah.
So good.
And the second one would be the blue greatest hits of the Beatles.
Yeah.
But my daughter's favourite song is Back in the USSR, and I'm just so disappointed in that.
Tune.
What's your favourite Beatles song?
You know what? I listened to Fool on the Hill.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Which is
a good
such a
one.
weird selection, but there's something about that track you just can't get. I've not heard any track sound like that. Or Strawberry Fields.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they were kind
Sorry,
of.
you can
quite,
move on now. I've had my little.
Are you happy?
yeah.
Dismissed.
Dismissed. I'm finished. Right. You can ban one thing from music festivals forever. What's it going to be?
Portaloos.
Well,
What
what's
would you
everyone
All right.
have
gonna
instead?
do?
What's your option instead? Though?
Go into the
Maniac.
woods.
Go
do
into the
anything
wild.
else.
Just find a tree.
Dig a pit.
I'd say like I want to do something with the pricing of all the food.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
very.
It's getting
true.
out of hand. Like I get it, but gosh,
You want a
getting-
ladle on site.
Absolutely out of hand. Just the monopoly on it. Like
You
let
want
somebody,
a little on site.
let somebody give me
just want
some
a tin of
chips
beans.
and a water or whatever. Just don't. Why are they so expensive?
Greg's.
Oh, yeah.
Let's sort out that.
Yeah, but
somebody
they're
sort that
even-
out.
even
Somebody,
them.
Greg's, get in the festival sites now.
They won't let them though. They just the price would be
Even
paying that
then,
much
if you
for
go
rent
to the
or whatever.
ones on like the service station ones, they're like 10 times more expensive.
Yeah, true.
So they're already
But
doing the
nowhere
same
near
thing.
as bad as what you're paying at a festival.
Yeah, but if you
True.
collect
Some of
your
that stuff.
stamps, you can still get your free stuff. That's what I do.
What is it? Is there a
I save-
Monzo thing as well where you
Oh,
can get
mate. Yeah,
a
Monzo.
sausage
Yeah.
roll a
Octopus.
week or something?
Octopus Energy do one as well.
I know.
free.
I'm not. I
rinse them all.
can't get a
I'm
smart
a
meter
Yorkshireman.
fitted.
I think the reason, sorry, I'm going back to the actual question. The reason it grates on me so much is because a lot of these festivals are like, in Glastonbury, it's fantastic, isn't it? And it's all about, free liberation and, giving people back and raising. And then how much we
Then they're
charging for a
charging £10.50
carton
for
of
cheesy
Yeah,
chips.
come on, get with the
Yeah.
programme.
They're never
man.
that good. Like,
No,
They should be
some
really
of them are good. Some of the food there is mint, but it's just I'm taking a kidney out to pay for it.
Don't do that.
What
mate.
would be your dream place to record? Or is the shed good enough? I feel like you're both thinking the shed.
It's pretty good, isn't it? We went. I'm not really that like.
See, what's always stuck in... So our first album, we recorded it on Parr Street.
In Parr Street,
But it was in Studio 2. It was Studio 2 and it was the one upstairs and it was a bit gloomy. It looked pretty cool still.
We ended the vocals
Chris
in
Martin's
Studio 1,
piano
mate.
was still up there, wasn't it? Or something.
Yeah.
But the first room were like beautiful.
Every
And now
studio's
it's
got
gone.
a piano of
It's
someone.
gone.
haven't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't ever do that.
We
but-
did. How did we record that Amazon session? Metropolis. That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was cool.
Maybe Abbey Road just to say you've done it. But
Yeah.
no, I think
Stick with that. It's a quick fire question. Abbey Road.
it's who you're with, not where you are. Would be my answer to that.
Oh, he's such an optimist.
I know. So heartfelt. Right. Where can we find all of your lovely content online? Where do we find all your? I know we've kind of briefly gone over it, but where do we find all your merch?
Glasscaves.co.uk. Glasscaves.co.uk.
Glass Cave. If you type in Glass Caves, we're going to be there, aren't we? Yeah, Instagram,
We're there.
Facebook, TikTok. We're trying to push the TikTok train.
Are you on TikTok?
We're on TikTok.
We
Yeah,
are.
we've just got 1,000 followers. Is that good? Yeah. So us granddads are, enjoying that.
I'm yet to get TikTok.
I got it
do
for
it.
this, and I think I've put like 3 things on it because it's.
It's hard.
You go
work.
live, right?
There's
So
a
we
certain
went.
type
We were
of
busking
content.
the other weekend, and like when we used to busk, we went live on Facebook or Instagram, and you get like hundreds of, we got like 20,000 on Facebook. And we're not following the page, but like 10 will watch
Yeah.
a live. TikTok, there were 1,000 people watching that live the other week. Was busking, unbelievable. Like people don't
Nice.
even follow us. People at work were like, I don't even follow you, but like I got a notification saying you're online. So there's
TikTok
something.
live
Oh,
people.
yeah.
There's something in the algorithm somewhere where I don't know.
That's working for you.
Yeah, so it's just about
Nice.
reaching people, isn't it? I guess, and spreading
Yes,
the word.
mate.
I've got a quick fire question for you, Matt. If I can throw my own.
Oh,
in.
absolutely. Yeah. What? Let's break the mold. Let's
I'm
go for
nervous.
it.
If you were gonna, in the letters of the alphabet, which do you think is the hardest? Is like to have you're gonna have a fight with one. What's
An
the
M.
Why?
Like Machomp.
Oh, that's funny because I would have said W, which is basically
Really?
an M but upside down,
yeah,
isn't it?
quite like.
I'd have gone for K because
Yeah, I go K.
it's got the kicks on it.
Kicking K, and it's quite a solid like
Yeah.
kicking
Got the
K.
kicks.
Got like a
Or an,
Yeah,
or an
yeah.
X because it's quite.
What
Yeah,
a
but an
weird
O
question.
could just crush
X is a
you.
bit sexy though, isn't
I
it?
don't think anyone gained anything out of that.
No,
No,
was.
I did. I loved
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's an insight
It's a
into
pessimist,
the the psyche.
Yeah, I don't know.
I enjoyed
I
that
think-
actually.
No worries, mate. I'm glad. That's what you got to do. Enjoy it.
Do you
That's
want
your
to come
advice.
up with our quick fire questions in future?
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
want.
please do because I'm like.
What
Have you got
5
now?
items?
You're giving him too much control.
No, we'll stop there. Sorry.
Baguette, mate.
I've got them all day. Would you rather have baguettes for arms or baguettes for legs?
Legs every day at week. I could
Yeah.
put wheels on myself.
Yeah, cool.
I thought you were going to say, after you said baguette, I thought you were going to say, if you had to fight a loaf of bread, what kind
no.
of bread would it be?
Yeah.
Something soft.
Definitely,
They're not all-
definitely focaccia.
Yeah.
I'd fight a focaccia any day.
He's got too much bounce though. You'd never break it apart.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
No, sorry, my fault. We're in a fever dream. We're going to be
It's the best bit.
writing songs again. Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, we're kind of that's it. That's
it.
all I've got.
It's over.
Fantastic.
That's all I've got
I've
for you.
enjoyed myself, mate.
Yeah, me
It's been
too.
I feel
amazing.
like this feels like a mic drop kind of
yeah,
ending,
yeah.
actually.
Boom.
Thanks so much for
If I
having
drop
us.
it, it stays on
Really
the stand.
good.
That's the issue.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you.
Thank you for the epic journey that you've been on to get
For
here and
having
to get
us.
home.
Yes.
And yeah, so if you're looking to get some more Glass Caves in your life, which I highly recommend, it's at Glass Caves on Instagram or www. Do we even need that anymore? I don't think
it's
so.
quicker to say World Wide Web than it is to say
I think so.
www.
Yeah, how crazy
is
Oh,
that?
yeah.
That's-
Sorry, anyway, I'm
It's full of facts.
cutting across you
Yeah.
again. Just got warmed up, Anna.
The internet.glasscaves.co.uk.
Yeah.
You can find all the merch, pre-sales for vinyls
Pre-order
and
the
CDs.
vinyl.
Pre-order the
Make
album.
sure you pre-order
Yes,
it.
Kitty.
We'll pop the links to that in the description below.
Legend.
And yeah, if you want to find more of our stuff, we are @IndieTtalk_, all one word, on Instagram. And yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube. That'd be massive help. Thank you very much. Thanks again.
Thank you
And
so
until next
much.
time, cheers.
Aw, an applause.
Yeah, it's great. Absolutely, Mim.
Yeah.